the blockchain breeze. He's live every day, decode the mazes. JJ's cryptic corner, where the coins keep turning. Log in now, the future's burning. JJ's cryptic corner, JJ's cryptic corner. Pixels glow, charts flow, crypto whispers, secrets show. He cracks the code on this winding road. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic. Tune in, lean back, grab your coffee, hit the track. JJ's live, don't be late. Cryptic wisdom, seal your fate. JJ's cryptic.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Happy Tuesday. How's everyone doing today? Guys, don't forget to smash the like button on your way in. I appreciate you guys for being here. Bitcoin currently trading at $68,525.94. Hey, what's going on, guys? All right, let's take a look. Bitcoin, pretty much the same exact price that it was yesterday. Our Bitcoin dominance rejecting 59.5 again. No surprise there. That's actually our third rejection, interestingly enough. So we'll see if that results in some decent downside here. It does look like we're forming a little top to hopefully curl over. We'll see how it reacts over time, though. This usually would be like good information for altcoins, but right now nothing's really moving the market. So gold up 0.49% on the day. I suspect the fractal is probably going to play out relatively closely if the information that I've taken in today specifically supports my recency bias. I'm going to assume that the fractal for gold is going to play out quite well. But time will tell. Tomorrow I might be in a completely different mood. As of right now, RSI on gold right around 56, 55. So not too much. We're lingering. Waiting until February 14th, actually, Valentine's Day, to see if gold gets a nice spike. Silver up 1.75% on the day, $82.21. See if they can get back above my long entry at 82.48-ish. RSI looks good, holding above that moving average, pushing it up. Green dot of the momentum wave, point to the upside as well. Back to Bitcoin, down 0.5% on the day, struggling to get above and stay above 70K. I'm not entirely sure why. It looks like we're maybe gonna, lose the floor here. It looks like the floor is about to fall out from under us. But we've seen crazier things. I don't really see any kind of strength returning to the market. We had that Clarity Act discussions today, which was another distraction, nothing burger, nonsense. They didn't even send like the actual people there. It's all like assistants and just BS. It's all conjecture. So nothing really going on with that. I'm not entirely sure what's going to turn this around, if anything. I'm afraid that we might be in for some nasty price action for the next 30 to 60 days. 68,452 though on the day. Playing around with that 68,405 level. I'm not entirely sure what that level's for. But the 618 fib from 16 to 126 according to Cash Oak is at 57K. We have yet to touch that. Let's see if that comes into play later. Our RSI feeling to get above 50. We broke below, got a bearish break below our moving average. and are continuing to the downside there. Red dot of the momentum wave today as well, still in play, pointing to the downside. We'll see where we end up going. ETH down 0.82% on the day, currently trading at $2,005.51. This one, 2,000 is an important level for ETH, very psychological level. Getting below that again, probably not going to be the best thing. Like we lost it for a quick second, got a nice bounce at 18, and then got back above 2K, held that as support once, twice. This is our third test right now. We're kind of like, I don't know, I would like to make the argument that we're establishing a floor here, but it also looks like it's just trying to break below it, and it's just continually like lingering here until it gets a chance to break below it. So I don't know, not a lot of strength in volume, not a lot of strength in anything really. It's very much just being held by a thread above 2K. So if we break below that, we'll look for 1750 for a point of confluence based on psychological level of 1750. Every $250. Our RSI did get a bearish cross over the moving average, now pointing to the downside there as well, along with the red dot today on the momentum wave, just like Bitcoin. So we'll see if that continues the downside. If we lose 2K and start closing higher time frame candle bodies below it, then we'll start looking for targets. Solana down 0.25% on the day as well, currently trading at $82.78. 82.47 is a point of confluence on here based on previous price action. I don't think if ETH loses 2K and Bitcoin's losing 70, Solana's probably going to lose 82.47. I'm probably looking for $50 here now, just because it's getting pretty dicey out here for altcoins, and unfortunately Solana is probably the first in line as an actual altcoin outside of the Bitcoin Ethereum trade, if you will. So it's probably going to be a little bit weaker. Also, the fact that it's like the retail chain and retail's nowhere to be found. I'm not trying to be a doomer. I'm trying to be a little bit realistic, but I don't know. It's Tuesday. What are you going to do? Cheers, guys. Got some Pepsi today. Do you want to hear? Can you hear the ice? It's very satisfying. That's good. Okay. So yeah, we'll keep an eye out on Solana. See if 75 holds. I like the candle, the wick on that candle right there. But we're just not getting the bounce that we were looking for on pretty much anything. I wouldn't even quantify this as a dead cat bounce. Total 3, down 0.39% on the day, seemingly rejecting $711 billion bearish guess. So probably going to continue down here as well. Where are we going to fall to, though? 640 was a nice bounce point. 540 is a head and shoulder target based on this giant head and shoulder right here. If we do left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and we did technically lose that neckline as well. So all those things considered, 540 billion definitely in the cards. That would be, what would that be? Approximately 20% down for altcoins. So we'll see where that takes us. ADA is down 0.53% on the day, currently trading at 26.05. We lost 26.22, which is where the October 10th Binance wick went to. Where are we going to go from here? With ADA, ADA is a hard one because it's at bear market lows already. If it does go lower, I suppose look for 20. If it loses 20, then look for 10 at that point. You know what I mean? Definitely getting bleak on that price action. Volume looks a lot better here than it did previously, but still. It's looking pretty fugly. Pretty fugly. The fact that these coins, you know, never return to all-time highs is a little bit dicey, and if we are entering a 12-month long bear market and following the 4-year cycle perfectly, then I don't know if these coins are going to come back. Oaktree said, hey JJ, what's going on, Oaktree? Snag is up 0.97% on the day, lingering right here around between 5 and 6. Not too much going on here. I'm a huge fan of that recovery. We'll see if that continues. It's doing better than most anything, which is awesome. But it also dumped quite significantly. So it's probably got a little bit of catching up to do, if we're being completely honest. Midnight also looks like trash. 0.048. I don't know, where did this thing even launch at? It's getting pretty spicy here. The launch price, I would look for maybe 3 cent range if it's going to get any more bearish than it already is. It's looking like it's trying to establish a floor, but yeah, not much to say. XRP down 0.01% on the day, currently trading at $1.39. I feel like the fact that I'm a little pessimistic on the altcoins means that we're probably bottoming, just because that's usually how it goes. I am very late. I told you guys I was going to be late this week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I got my ass kicked at work today. I got effed up. Probably going to be a short stream too. XRP, $1.39. I guess it helps that there's nothing really to report. The prices all waited for me to get home. And nothing has changed. So that's good. Nothing really to say about XRP. It's at $1.40. If it loses $1.40, look for $1.25 as support. Lose $1.25, look for $1. It's gonna be psychological from this point forward on most of these coins. Gold. I'm not gonna talk about Avalanche or Chainlink. They both look like crap. Chainlink has some big partnership with Robinhood, but it doesn't affect the price. Avalanche, I don't know. I think they had a big partnership too. Also, it doesn't affect the price apparently. Gold. Monad. I got an alert for Monad today. Yeah, I got a big fat candle right here up 16.25 on that candle. Pretty crazy pumps. I've been getting alerts for this randomly. It's kind of surprising. Still very, very choppy sideways. Interesting. Gold up 0.65. We talked about this. I think it's going to continue. And I'm looking for that Valentine's Day bounce, and then that eventual end of February continuation to the upside. I think safe haven assets are going to make a comeback here. I could be wrong, though. I'm just guessing based on the economy and the way that things seem to be going. Silver up 1.92% on the day, currently trading at $82.35. Is this thing going to get back above 100 is the question. RSI looks good, bouncing off that moving average. Green dot in the momentum wave. I don't know if market cipher really applies. Gold has a green dot as well, and RSI sitting above that moving average as well. DXY lost the 15-year trend line. We talked about this a little bit yesterday. It's continuing to the downside today. We like that. $96 and or 96.68. It's not dollars. It's just 96.68. Whatever unit of measurement that is. RSI seemingly rejecting that moving average on the 4-hour time frame. So we'll see if it continues to the downside. Probably is going to, but you never know. This thing gets pretty dicey, and then it makes a nice comeback for a moment. So for some reason, I don't know. I think Binance has stuff like where you can trade the DXY, which would be pretty sick. DXY moves a lot better than most altcoins, which is kind of crazy to think about. But yeah, if you're if you got the balls to use Binance for anything, I think that they have random stuff like DXY trades where you can actually like trade the value of the DXY and stuff like that. Technically, it's like an ETF essentially. Think of it that way. MicroStrategy, aka Big B Coffee, down 3.93% on the day, currently trading at $133.66. It is back above the trend line, which goes all the way back to our first beautiful triangle breakout, all the way back in 2024. This was a lovely triangle. I remember tracking this actually on stream. Were we streaming back then? I don't remember streaming that far back. That's actually kind of crazy. This had to have been, yeah, September, October. I think September, October 2024 is when I started. So then we must have had all of that data already. That makes sense. So we've extended that line all the way out. It seems to be somewhat relevant here, with the price getting back above it. So we'll see if that holds and then acts as support later on. We held above $100, which is awesome. Let's see if that continues. The trend is your friend until the end. RSI is sitting right above 50, or at 50, maybe even a little bit lower, but it's sitting right around 50. Vanguard purchased some MicroStrategy on January 20th. You know, they have the time and money to be patient and wait for this. But if eventually it grinds up and becomes incredibly profitable, then they will have made a good move. NASDAQ up 0.2% on the day, currently trading at $25,240.30. RSI dancing around that moving average. We did break below it. Looks like it's trying to break above it again. It's a moving average, so it's not going to act as supportive resistance. It can, but probably dance around it and do one of these. Who knows? Money flows negative on Market Cipher. I'm not sure if Market Cipher really works with stocks, but I'm going to read it anyways. We do have a red dot up here as well, pointing to the downside with that reversal candle, which is interesting. So we'll see if that reversal candle comes into play at all with some downside. So far it is. If we do pull back, I guess I would look for, because we already pulled back here and like kind of wicked, got a little tweezer bottom off of 24.9. Can we pull back to 25 and then continue to the upside from there? I'm not a fan of that sell-off right there, but the recovery so far has been somewhat ideal. I would like to see further upside though before I get a little too excited. But the structure for the fractal is definitely out the window. That is no longer in play. S&P, however, S&P fractal looks relatively decent. Currently up, or down, I'm sorry, down 0.33%, $6,941.82. Let's see if we can recouple with the original fractal, or even just follow the hand-drawn one. Open on Tuesday, January 20th was 68.65. We kind of double bottomed off that with a little fake out below, I suppose. Looks like 6,800 was our support there. Tom Selleck said, rumored job numbers tomorrow are going to be terrible. Oh yeah, I've heard. I've heard. I think they're going to do an emergency rate cut. I do, because if jobs are really, really bad like that, then the economy is going to get spicy. There's no money, man. Nobody has money because nobody has jobs. They revised the, I forget what it's called, the median income of like new graduates or something like that. Got revised down. It's essentially down like 33% over a longer period of time. My internet looks like crap, man. That's crazy. I think they gave me a bum modem. All right, let's continue. S&P looking good. Bitcoin down 0.84% on the day, currently trading at 285.99. Let's get into the news segment. Relatively decent amount of news today. Sam Bankman-Fried says FTX was never bankrupt. I never filed for it, which cracks me up. That's pretty hilarious. I think he just recently asked for, or he filed for mistrial or something like that. Retrial, who knows. Michael Saylor's says strategy will be buying Bitcoin every quarter. I don't know if that means that he's always going to buy Bitcoin, or if he's changing it now so that he doesn't have to buy every week. I'm not sure where he's going with that. European Union proposes banning all crypto transactions with Russia to prevent sanctions evasion. Interesting. Treasury Secretary Bessent calls to pass crypto market structure legislation. He's been saying that every day. Nothing has changed. This lady is so loud. I listened to this a little bit, and she's like yelling. She's like, "What do you think about this?" I was like, "Whoa!" I was driving. I had to turn my radio down. I was like, "Jeez." So yeah, that caught me off guard. Definitely woke me up. Sam Bankman-Fried files for retrial in FTX fraud case. There you go. There it is. Goldman Sachs discloses holdings $2.36 billion worth of crypto. Bitcoin $1.1 billion. ETH $1 billion. XRP $153 million. Solana $108 million. Very cool. President Trump says the U.S. economy should grow 15% or 20%. President Trump says U.S. should have the lowest interest rates in the world. Just in, recent activity detected on Bitcoin account linked to Nancy Guthrie. Ransom note. TMZ reports. Been vaguely seeing bits and pieces of what's going on here. I'm not entirely 100% sure what it is, but it sounds like a crazy story. I hope that lady's okay. Marty Party posted stablecoin mint another 250 million USDC issued on Solana by Circle Treasury. Also, as liquidity increases, Solana now increasing its dominance on 24-hour usage by large institutional value transfer. Chain comparison attached. 72% Solana versus 28% Ethereum. Rolling 1 week, 4.7 billion USDC issued on Solana. Rolling 1 month, 6.2 billion USDC issued on Solana. Institutions also like fast and cheap transactions. Very cool. I got new coffee today, and it is absolutely delicious. It is the Javalia French roast. So cheers. Tom Selleck said, free SBF, arrest CZ, impeach Trump. All right. Goldman Sachs has reportedly disclosed significant crypto holdings in its latest 13F filings. Goldman Sachs, key details from the reports. We read that already. Total crypto exposure, approximately 2.36 billion. Allocation percentage, this represents about 0.33% of Goldman Sachs' overall portfolio assets under management. Very cool. Kobayashi later posted, silver inventories on the Shanghai Futures Exchange are collapsing. Shanghai's silver available for delivery is down to just 350 tons, the lowest since 2015. This marks an 88% decline from the 3,000 tons peak seen in January 2021. Mr. Roberts said, hey, JJ Oaks, goats and oaks. Goats and oaks. It's like a sequel to Boats and Hoes. Goats and oaks. All right, so if silver inventory is dropping, then the price should increase. Maybe we should buy more silver. That might be where my DCA money goes this week. I might just buy some silver just for the hell of it. Big tech CapEx is exploding. The combined CapEx of Amazon, Alphabet, Meta, and Microsoft is expected to jump 70% year over year to a record $610 billion in 2026. This is nearly 3 times the $217 billion spent in 2024 and more than 4 times 2023 levels. Amazon leads with $200 billion in planned spending, followed by Alphabet at $180 billion, Meta at $125 billion, and Microsoft at $105 billion. Each company is expected to spend nearly as much in 2026 alone as they did the previous 2 years combined or more. All 4 would individually break the record for the highest annual CapEx spent by a single company over the last 10 years. The AI infrastructure rush is unprecedented. That is pretty crazy. RWA, guys. This clip, okay, so I actually shared this in the Discord, so I wanted to go over this because this is important. This clip is circulating everywhere. No, President Trump did not say he made a mistake on his nomination of Kevin Warsh for Fed chair. This clip has been taken out of context. He is referring to his appointment of Fed Chair Powell in 2017 because his Treasury Secretary wanted him so badly. Warsh was the runner-up at the time, and he remains Trump's nominee now. Filter out the noise. I think Warsh is going to be exactly what Trump wants. I think he's going to cut rates like crazy, and I think he's going to be dovish, and I think he's going to print a lot of money. I do. Kobayashi letter, the short U.S. bond trade is very crowded. Short interest in the popular Treasury bond tracking ETF TLT is up to a record 150.5 million shares. This is 10 times above levels seen in March 2023, which stood at 15 million shares. Short interest has tripled since 2024, despite the TLT price remaining flat over this period. Long-term treasuries have been in a bear market for nearly 6 years now. Since April 2020, TLT has declined 40%. Wow. With the biggest drawdown reaching 47% in October 2023. Long-term bonds are more hated than ever. I believe that. Breaking the Chinese, oops, did not mean to click on that. The Chinese yuan has strengthened to 6.91 against the US dollar, the strongest since May 2023. The yuan is now on track for its 7th consecutive monthly gain, the longest streak since 2020-2021, up 5% since 2025. It has also been the third best performing currency in Asia since September. The most recent move comes after Chinese regulators advised banks to limit purchases of U.S. treasuries and instructed those with high exposure to pare down positions. China is benefiting from the U.S. dollar weakness. Interesting. I think we're going to benefit from that as well. Hopefully. Breaking. The inflation-adjusted average starting salary, this is what I was talking about earlier. Lunar Entity said Warsh is very anti-QE, but pro-rates. He stepped away from the Federal Reserve after the GFC because they restarted QE immediately after it finished. Tom Selleck said, look up Warsh's father-in-law. He's a billionaire, huge Trump guy. He's going to do exactly what Trump wants. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. I'm aware. Isn't he... oh shoot, what's the company? It's like some big clothing company or something like that. I forget the name. But yeah, I'm aware. Tom Selleck Warsh will make printer go burr. That's my thought too. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Please print. Please, man. Please, just print the money. Nobody cares. Okay. The inflation adjusted average. Oh, yeah, I forgot I'm supposed to put my mic in my face for you guys. The inflation adjusted average starting salary for college graduates is down 8% year over year to $54,500, the lowest in at least 6 years. This marks the fourth consecutive annual decline. Salaries have plummeted 24% in real terms since the $71,000 peak seen in 2021. This comes as graduates are being pushed into lower paying roles that often have little to do with their degree. The percentage of recent graduates whose first job aligns with their field of study has fallen from 26% for the 2022 cohort to 20% for the 2025 cohort. Young Americans are unable to find jobs. That sucks. Estee Lauder, thank you. Thank you. Yes, I am familiar. Okay, Americans are extremely bullish on the stock market. 50% of Americans now expect the stock market to rise over the next 6 months, the second highest reading since 2020. I don't know where they're getting this information. According to a January Gallup poll, this is above the long-term average of 45% seen from 2006 to 2019. By comparison, the previous peaks were 61% in January 2025 and 59% in December 2003. At the same time, only 25% surveyed saw the market declining, the second lowest reading since 2014. Meanwhile, 50% expect unemployment to increase, the highest percentage since May 2009, even higher than the 49% seen during the 2020 pandemic. The disconnect between stock market expectations and economic fears has rarely been this wide. Here's the other thing. If unemployment reaches pandemic levels, I'm curious about that. What is the unemployment rating in comparison to the pandemic? Let me see. Is unemployment worse than during the pandemic in America right now? Because if it reaches that level, are they just gonna do more stimmies? I'm curious. Okay, peak of the pandemic. How bad was it? Pandemic peak was 14%. Okay, we're at 4, so they need to add 10% right now. We only need to triple unemployment in order for it to reach pandemic levels. You never know. You never know. Guys, don't forget to smash the like button. I appreciate you guys for being here. Let me know in the chat if you guys got any questions or if you want to look at any charts or anything like that. I want to go take a look at Applied Digital really quick. This is one of the ones. Okay. I'm curious as to how this is going to perform because it's been really, really struggling to get above this $40 level. But this is it's like an AI infrastructure play essentially. And it did really, really good here and really good. And then it's just been stuck, man. It's been stuck here. Like, what is it doing here? Is it going to go up or down? RSI looks nice and reset-ish. Volume's quiet. I don't know. I've been watching this one for a while. I made quite a bit on it. But I don't know if it's going to go anymore. You know, there's going to be a rotation down the block of what's required for AI, essentially. The AI trade is seemingly unfolding, but I think it's premature. It feels premature. It feels like everyone and their brother's like, oh, bubbles popping, recession. And whenever everyone thinks that, that's not what plays out. So, but everyone thought that we were entering a crypto bear market too, and we seem to have entered a crypto bear market. So maybe the masses are right this time around. Maybe this is the one time that they're going to be right. I don't know, man. I don't know. All right. We got 8 votes in the poll. I asked you guys, why is everything so stagnant this week so far? 44% of you guys say we're waiting for CPI on Friday. 33% said smart money is exiting, and 22% said that Dow 50K distraction pullback. Okay. Disconnect between stock market expectations and economic fears has barely been this wide. 50% expect unemployment to increase, the highest percentage since May. Interesting. Okay. China's consumer confidence has completely collapsed. China's consumer confidence index is down to 90 points, near the lowest level on record. The index plunged 40 points between 2021 and 2022 and has remained at extremely pessimistic levels over the last 4 years. Jeez, imagine that for 4 years. The index plunged 40 points. Oh, yeah, I just read that. Okay. Before that drop, the index never consistently fell below 100, even during the 2008 financial crisis. This comes as China has experienced one of the largest housing bubble bursts in modern history. Wow. As a result, home sales by floor area in China are now 50% below 2021 levels. China consumers need help. That's crazy. Tom Selleck-Scott said, "It's a total fake out. I work with AI for business and it's just getting going. Bear trap." Oh yeah, 100%. It just cracks me up that everyone's like, oh my god, the bubble's popping. And all these like Microsoft, Google, they're spending like record amounts of money just building out infrastructure for AI. They're like, we got like the AI looks good. We're excited. And everyone's like, the bubble's popped. We're screwed. Bail out. And Google's over here like building giant data centers. Microsoft is building giant data centers. Amazon's building giant data centers. And the masses are just like, the bubble has popped. It's so funny to me, man. Lunar Entity said, global liquidity is starting to slowly pump the brakes. Bitcoin suggests something is ahead. I don't know if Bitcoin's a good metric anymore, man. I think they ruined it. I think Bitcoin has been destroyed by Wall Street. I really do. I hope I'm wrong, but it seems like essentially the inflation of the supply via paper has destroyed Bitcoin's entire ethos. And maybe I'm just being pessimistic because we've been very sideways, choppy, boring. I feel like I would feel that way below 120K no matter what. You know, we've reached mass adoption. We saw that nice, beautiful pump from all-time bear market lows to 126K, and then it just collapsed 50%, seemingly overnight. It's never gone down this far this fast, ever. And that spooks me. October 10th, I think, spooked a lot of people. I think it was the final nail in the coffin. People are probably like, ooh, I'm glad I didn't get back into crypto. You know what I mean? So, something's got to give. I think something has to dramatically change in order for retail to ever trust crypto ever again. And unfortunately, I think that Satoshi's original vision for crypto has also been kind of spat on and set on fire by Wall Street as well. So, I don't know. That's just my opinion. Breaking. Robinhood stock falls nearly 10% after posting lower than expected Q4 2025 revenue. Tom Selleck-Scott said, you bearish, bro. Clarity Act, banks are coming. Much FOMO, much wow. I mean, I just think Bitcoin looks like crap, man. Clarity Act is great, but what's going to happen when they sign it and nothing happens? Or what's going to happen when it gets pushed back another month or another 6 months or another year, or, you know, people just don't give a crap anymore. It's Tuesday and I've worked I had a long day. I had a very, very long day. I'm a sleepy boy. I did eat. But I get home, the stupid modems here, I plug it in, it don't work. So then I gotta call. The lady doesn't know what's going on. I'm on the phone with her for like 35 minutes. Finally, the internet comes back on. Mind you, this is plug and play hardware. It's not, there's nothing complicated about it. So whatever goofy ass barriers Spectrum put up is their mess. It's not my problem. And now I see that I'm losing 20% of my frames. So their crappy hardware is putting a big damper on my stream. Whereas it wasn't like that before. I don't know. I need to take an edible and go to bed. Okay. Bro needs a hug and brewski. Gold inventories at the Shanghai Futures Exchange vaults are skyrocketing. So this is actually the opposite of what's happening with silver. Deliverable gold in the Shanghai Futures Exchange measured by warehouse warrants is up to a record 104 tons. I like the way they spell tons. It's so silly to me. It's like the legal spelling of marijuana with the H. I don't know why they do it like that, but like on paper, they spell it completely differently. Like for the government, it's the weirdest thing to me. 104 tonies. Warehouse warrants represent physical gold stored in approved exchange vaults that can be held, transferred, or used as collateral. Warrants have risen more than 500% since mid-2025. By comparison, until Q2 2024, warehouse gold warrants had not exceeded 5 tons for years. This comes as Chinese demand for physical gold has soared to unprecedented levels. Physical gold demand in China is exploding. I think after what we just read about Chinese consumers needing help right here, I don't blame them for loading up on gold because it seems like their entire economy has just been destroyed by their government. Levered tech ETFs are out of control. I think this is actually going to be a big player in the bubble popping when it eventually does. I don't think it happened yet. I don't think it's going to happen for a while. But when it does happen, I think that all this leverage is going to play a big factor in the downfall. There are now a record 108 long and 31 short tech-related leveraged ETFs, 139 in total. This is 3 times more than the second largest sector, financials, with 47 total funds. By comparison, consumer discretionary has 44 ETFs, while communication services has 34 ETFs. In other words, tech has more leveraged ETFs than the next 3 sectors combined. Meanwhile, the number of U.S. active ETF launches jumped 71% year over year to a record 997 in 2025. This marks the 3rd consecutive annual increase, bringing the total to 2,800 active ETFs in the U.S. market. The ETF industry is exploding. Wow. What do you get? Like, obviously, you probably earn fees, right? When you, like, host an ETF or whatever. What is it even called? Lunar Entity said the Chinese people continue to save while government continues to print because there are no spenders. They've got it rough, just like us. So, this is going to be a really hot take. I was listening to Graham Stephan earlier, and he was talking about CBDC. And he mentioned, just like in passing, the idea of a penalty for you not spending your money. Like, if you don't spend your money every month, you would lose 1%. And I was like, it's not a bad idea. Now, hear me out. Inflation is from money printing. Money printing is because there's no money in circulation. Why is there no money in circulation? While Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk and Bill Gates and all these people have assets, sure, but whatever cash they have and bank accounts and whatever, that's all just like hoarded money. I guess the banks lend it out. Never mind. Forget I said anything. I guess the point of that 1% penalty kind of defeats itself because you're getting penalized, I think, more than 1% if you actually look at the real numbers with inflation. So, I don't know. It is what it is. Also, if you just have cash and you don't put it in a bank account. Oh, yeah, it's CBDC. Never mind. Never mind, man. I'm tired. Bitcoin, $68,371.25. Nothing is doing anything. Gold is doing a little bit of something. Silver's doing a little bit of something. Everything else is completely flat, stagnant, boring, flatlined. Lunar Entity said M2V is a great chart to see what hoarding money looks like. It illustrates your point. Okay, let's take a look. M2V. Velocity of M2 money stock. Is that the right one? Or is it this one? M2V? dyor? No, definitely not that one. Okay. This is what hoarding money looks like. This is 2020. So what happened? Everybody got rid of their money between January and April 2020. Does it only measure quarters? Okay. So is this telling me that there's less people hoarding money or more people hoarding money? What does this illustrate? This downtrend. while you wait for the delay to answer that, I'm going to continue. Down equals hoarding, up equals circulating. Oh, okay. Thank you for clarifying. So, yes, hoarding. Damn. So they're slowly circulating. See, this is, I guess, what confuses me the most then. If this has increased since 2020, I guess it really hasn't. This one right here, 23 to 24, is flat. This time was exciting from 22 to 23. That time was exciting in the market. And then this has been flat as F. That's been like crazy flat. Huh. Interesting. Okay. So let's all hope that this, along with all the other 54 different metrics that we've been looking at, can stop us from having to move the goalposts again. And we get some actual price action within the next 12 months on literally anything. Go back to the 4-hour time frame. Thank you for that, Lunar Entity. You always get the best charts, my friend. Okay. Trueflation posted independent U.S. inflation numbers today. Trueflation U.S. CPI 0.74% year over year. U.S. goods inflation 0.83%. U.S. services inflation 0.69%. Nice percent. This year, we are seeing cooling inflation trends across multiple categories, including food, housing, clothing, utilities, especially natural gas, communications, furnishings, gasoline, and more. Our numbers are derived by aggregating millions of real-time price points from tens of data providers and merchants. Hell yeah. Very cool, Trueflation. Thank you. Next, Cointelegraph posted update entry to the top 15 corporate Bitcoin treasuries now requires 7,500 Bitcoin, tightening competition for the 21 million supply asset. Very cool. Tether made a strategic investment in Layer 0 Labs to strengthen cross-chain interoperability for stablecoins and digital assets. I have something to report that I witnessed yesterday that made me laugh, and I needed to share it with you guys. My daughter asked me, we were watching our show, and she goes, "Who is James Bond?" And I explained it to her, and she goes, "So that's not like a movie person?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "That's not like a director?" And I was like, "No." She thought this whole time, she's 15 years old, she thought this whole time that James Bond was a director, because people always talk about James Bond movies. People always talk about James Bond movies, and I thought that that was the greatest thing in the world. That's pretty awesome. She's like, "Why do people talk about his movies like it's the greatest thing ever?" And I was like, "It's a pop culture thing, you know. He's like the first, like, you know, spy." And I don't know, it was so funny because it made sense. She's always hearing about James Bond movies, so she's like, "Oh, the director, James Bond." It's so good. Oh man, that's so good. That's so good. By the way, in case you guys feel like supporting the channel or degenerate gambling at all, sign up with the link in the description for Kalshi and place a trade or a bet with $25 or more, and we will both receive $25 in non-withdrawable site credit. It is degenerate gambling though, so remember that. Treat it like that. Subscribe if you guys haven't already. Top 10 looks the same as it did yesterday. Solana very quickly dropping, which is quite interesting. BNB and XRP turning heads. Do we think ETH is going to get flipped? And extreme fear at 9 for coin market cap. Fear and greed. Let's go check the traditional fear and greed. All right, we're at 11 now. Yesterday we were at 9. Interesting. We got up to 14 for some reason on the 9th, which, oh, 9th, 10th. Okay, we're at the 11th already. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, Bitcoin not doing a whole lot. $68,286.74. The great time capitulation is upon us. Insight: Bitcoin new investor inflows have flipped negative, reinforcing early bear market conditions as sell-offs aren't being absorbed by fresh capital, according to a CryptoQuaint analyst. Wow. Next, SoulScan reports that Circle minted $1 billion worth of USDC in the past 24 hours. That's a lot of money. Alert, Bitcoin wiped out all post-Trump election gains after falling below 80K amid 2.7 billion in liquidations, according to Wintermute. Is it? I feel like it's a little bit pretentious of me, but I don't know why. My brain is like, without crypto, guys, Trump would not have won the election. I don't know why I think that way. Like, I don't think that there's that many of us, but it's just in my brain, I'm like, we won him that election. I don't think that that's true, but for some reason my mind thinks that way, and I'm like, he better fix crypto. Maybe it's like peak copium. It's quite funny to me. Saeed said, hi, sir. How you doing, Saeed? Happy Tuesday or Wednesday for you. Cheers, my friend. Good morning. Delicious. Okay, gold and silver looking good. Silver looking better than gold. I think silver's supply and demand is picking up. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Bitcoin quiet, 68,206. Michael Vandepop said Bitcoin likely peaked in December 2024. I love this goalpost moving. It's quite entertaining to me. Bitcoin likely peaked in December 2024 and may now be near a bear market bottom, citing historically low fear and greed index levels that previously preceded major bull runs for Bitcoin. All right, I like it. I'll take it, man. I will take all the copium I can get. Latest, Donald Trump said the U.S. should have the world's lowest interest rates, arguing each 1% cut could save $600 billion and help erase the deficit. Very cool. Pavel Durov said Russia is restricting access to Telegram. I've always said I didn't like Telegram very much. It's like ripe with scammers. And I do have a Telegram for the channel. Never used it. Dave, one of the earlier frequent members, posts random meme coins in there like once a quarter, maybe if you're lucky. He usually makes relatively decent picks, but it's pretty quiet in there. I've just never been a fan. Whenever someone's trying to scam somebody, it's always on Telegram. So the fact that Russia, it's so sketchy that Russia doesn't like it, is kind of crazy to me. Next, we get another rare post from TechDev, becoming less and less rare nowadays, saying March 2020 was the only other time in Bitcoin's history when it was this oversold at the bottom of the business cycle, match plus kindling. That is the pandemic crash. So let's see if that comes into play. I would be pretty excited if we experienced some upside. This one cracked me up. People in cash watching every global market implode. This is such a good movie. The Pirates of the Caribbean movies are so good, dude. Also, I don't know why this guy always reminded me of Rumpelstiltskin. I don't know why, and I think it's the Rumpelstiltskin from the Shrek movies. I don't know why. There's just something about him. I feel bad too because that's an actual person. Like that man, he's a real actor. I don't know if they watched the full clip. Because he definitely dies when that entire ship explodes. I guess global markets imploding would eventually kill cash too, wouldn't it? Maybe not. I don't know. Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index posted Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index is 11. Extreme Fear. Current price 69,168. I guess I should follow them. Very cool. Crypto Fergani posted the next 3 to 6 months will be life-changing. Altcoins will explode. I can't wait for these 3 to 6 months to be different from the last 3 to 6 months. We did get a golden cross. That actually is different. Altcoins market cap. We did get a golden cross. Very cool. Let's see if we do that. That would be sick. Lunar Entity said Trump's previous term annihilated anyone that didn't like hoarding cash for 20% dips. LOL. Right? Okay. Altcoins in a nutshell. This is actually real. We got the entire psychology of a market cycle, and then depression, deeper depression, wrecked-er, ultimate wrecked, ultimate wrecker, annihilation, and Cretaceous Paleogene extinction event, which I'm pretty sure is just Latin for zero. So time will tell. Bar chart posted Chinese yuan hits strongest level against US dollar since May 2023. Cocoa falls to lowest price since 2023. Time to load up on chocolate. That was pretty funny. Global cost of living. Bermuda is number 1. We are moving to Bermuda, ladies and gentlemen. I think, right? Lowest Libya. Yeah, let's go to Bermuda, man. Let's do it. An excellent illustration for altcoins. It's real, man. That is actual factual chart. U.S. has built its biggest copper inventory in more than 30 years. COMEX copper inventory surged to all-time high. What does that mean? Does that mean my copper is going to be cheaper? Because I don't want cheaper copper. I want to sell it for a lot of money. Gold to $12,000 predicts Myrmicum Capital founder Daniel Oliver. Ah, yes, you know Myrmicum Capital founder Daniel Oliver. This is the analyst who has gold bugs thinking $12,000 is not only possible, but the correct price. The dollar's demise is unavoidable, says Myrmicum's Capital's founder. That'll be the day. Honestly, should we buy some gold? Let's buy some gold, man. I think it's time to buy some gold. We'll get like one, what's it called? What's the really tiny one? We'll get one, gram? We'll get 1 gram of gold. Let's actually look that up. 1 gram of gold. Gold gram. I cannot type, man. Gold gram. There we go. Here we go. Let's go to, I'm just going to go to eBay. I trust eBay. Is that weird that I trust eBay over everything else? I feel like you actually get good prices. Gold gram. 100 bucks? I feel like that's fair. All right. What is the actual price? It's probably like 50. Nah. We're going to buy some gold grams. That'll be fun. I'm going to do it. Okay. 1, 200, and 120 are attractive. Okay. It was really swell of Chainlink to come back for me. Missed that previous bear market. What is the value incentive though? I don't know, man. I'm in deep bear market territory in my brain. I'm like, why would I buy any of these? Charles Schwab took a big fat dumperoonie. Not the man, but the stock. U.S. Treasury just bought back $2 billion of their own debt. Here you go. Just in, Robinhood app launches public testnet and partners with Chainlink as the Oracle platform for Robinhood Chain. Robinhood launching their own meme coin soon. Exciting stuff. Builders can leverage Chainlink's data, interoperability, and compliance standards to power advanced tokenization use cases. Robinhood shaking hands with Chainlink. Let me actually ask the question. So, does Robinhood have to buy Link to use this service? What does this do for Link holders besides looking pretty? I'm genuinely curious because I don't think it does anything. Tom Selleck Scout said gold is 160 a gram today. Okay, so I was definitely just not looking at grams. Yeah, this is interesting to me. Very interesting. It's funny that this color is different from the actual color of their logo. Did nobody check that? I don't know. These people are all crazy. These people get paid for this stuff too. Bitcoin currently trading at $68,277.41. Let's ask Grok some questions. I want to ask Grok some questions. Okay. In the past, I'm going to say for the past year, you've been saying that altcoins can make a comeback. I asked you yesterday, and now suddenly you're on the fence or thinking we're entering a prolonged bear market. What changed that caused you to change your answer? I just want to see. I just want to see. I'm like a shitty girlfriend bringing up stuff from the past. I am genuinely curious though, because in all of these AI trading competitions, Grok 4.2 is the best, but Grok 4.1, which is the model that we have access to, sucks. Like it sucks in the trading models as well. So there's some disconnect between Grok 4.1 and 4.2 where it doesn't know how to do anything crypto or trading in general. It's like really, really bad. I want to see Cointelegraph probably doesn't have anything new, but I'm going to check anyways. I also want to check Kobayashi letter, and I want to check Watcher Guru. Probably nothing from Marty Party. Watcher Guru has nothing new. Bar chart has emerging market stocks now outperforming U.S. equities. Okay, hang on. Bar chart has quite a bit of new stuff. What the heck? Okay, this is from an hour ago. There we go. Okay. Binance now holds 87% of Trump's stablecoin. Interesting. Very interesting. 12.7% of credit card loans are now in serious delinquency. Credit card loans? What the hell is a credit card loan? The second highest in history. The only other time this percentage was higher was the aftermath of the global financial crisis. Hedge funds are now the most overweight healthcare stocks in at least the last 5 years. Hedge funds are now the most overweight healthcare stocks. I don't understand. Healthcare stocks? What does that have to do with healthcare stocks? Like they have a lot of healthcare stocks? That's a weird way to word that. Tech stocks relative to non-tech. .com bubble versus now. Damn. That's crazy. See, but the .com bubble was definitely just straight up and down. This looks like a lot more of a healthy rise. It's a nice slow rise. Do you see that? This is like vertical. This is like a nice slow burn. You know, got a nice pullback, healthy pullback right there, healthy pullback right there. We're in a healthy pullback right now. Like the scaffolding analogy works perfectly in this because there was no scaffolding here. This is straight up, straight down. You jumped off the top of the scaffolding to get to the ground. This one, you're building your scaffolding up on the way up. The Burj Khalifa of scaffolding. US dollar testing 15-year support. It's now or never. I don't know if they know what they're talking about because they said 14-year like a week ago, and they posted this 40 minutes ago. The DXY is well below that line. Maybe their line's just too fat and they're not zooming in. I don't know. Gold destroying the U.S. stock market this century. That's pretty funny, actually. Emerging market stocks now outperforming U.S. equities by largest margin since 2023. And Tesla closed above its 200-day moving average for more than 5 straight months, approaching the longest period since 2020, 2021. Interesting. Okay, Cointelegraph. Lunar Entity said, okay, hold on. Gold 160 a gram today. They're buying a ton of healthcare. That's what overweight means. It's just a weird sentence. The telecommunications build-out was the purest form of mania. People had wild ideas about how radically telecom infrastructure would change the world. Yeah, that chart's straight up and down for the .com bubble. It's no wonder that was bubble. Like, people just dove headfirst straight into it. And I gotta say, the tech in the early 2000s, beautiful. There's nothing like it today, man. Everyone's phone looks the same. It's just a stupid black rectangle. Big deal. Back then, you had there was plastic shit on it that had different colors. Everything was kind of retro tech, but it looked cool. I don't know. The 90s and 2000s were a different time for technology. I wish we could go back. Everything was unique. Stuff actually looked it looked cool. I think Apple ruined it. I really do. With the iPad and then the iPhone. They're everything is just sleek and straight and boring. Now everyone's house looks like that too. Alright, Pavel Durov, CoinGlass reported that capital is returning to exchanges, but leverage remains suppressed despite strong Binance inflows and volume. Yeah, right. We'll see, man. We will see. I'll believe it when I see it. Okay, Cointelegraph, Nothing Burger, Kobe SE letter. Yep, we caught up with that. Let's see what Grok said. My views on altcoins haven't flipped arbitrarily. I'm not wedded to a static opinion, but aim to reflect the latest available market data and trends as accurately as possible. Over much of the past year, the crypto market was still riding momentum from the post-halving bull run, ETF inflows, and pro-crypto policy shifts, which made an altcoin rotation or alt season a plausible scenario at various points. Many analysts noted potential for altcoins to catch up as Bitcoin dominance eased. What shifted into early 2026 is the market reality itself. We've entered a clear corrective or bearish phase. Key changes include a sharp sell-off in early February, with Bitcoin dropping to around 60K on February 5th before partial recovery to 69.71K levels. This erased much of the prior Trump-era gains and correlated with broader risk-off moves in assets. Bitcoin dominance holding elevated 57 to 59%, signaling capital staying in Bitcoin rather than rotating to altcoins. Severe altcoin underperformance. Reports describe a year-plus altcoin bear market, with the median token down 79% and no broad outperformance. The altcoin season index is low, 25 out of 100, confirming Bitcoin season. Fading retail speculation. Trading volume down 30%, whale selling pausing, but exhaustion signals mixed. And executives like Galaxy's Mike Novogratz calling the end of the age of speculation. Muted expectations overall. Investments managers see no imminent broad alt season, with some tying the downturn to the 4-year cycle playing out. This isn't just a minor dip. Data points to early stages of bottoming at best, or prolonged consolidation bear at worst. That's why a recent response might have sounded more cautious or on the fence. The near-term risks have increased, and quick altcoin comeback looks less likely without major catalysts. Dominance breakdown, renewed inflows. Longer-term altcoins could still stage a recovery if the cycle turns. Some sources eye potential later in 2026 with upgrades or macro shifts, but right now the evidence justifies tempered expectations. Crypto evolves fast. What seemed probable in mid-2025 bull optimism doesn't hold in today's environment. So basically what I'm getting at is, or what I'm getting out of this is, whatever Grok says, do the opposite, because Grok is reading the exact moment, and it's going to be wrong, because it's only basing its opinions on what's happening at that moment. So if you're asking, like, what's tomorrow going to look like? It's like, tomorrow's going to look like today. It doesn't seem like Grok can actually like predict into the future. It's like, oh, people are bullish. I don't know. That's funny. What a crazy answer. T-Mobile Sidekick undefeated phone. Dude, the phones back then were so sick. I had a chocolate, LG chocolate, I think it was. The Motorola Razr was so badass. What else? I like the sliding phones, man. The off-brand chocolates were cool as hell too. I like buttons. Back then, you could text and drive without being distracted. You literally feel the buttons, and you know you have to hit you have to hit 3, like 4 or 5 times to freaking like change letters, but it just worked, man. You could just like Morse code that shit like a blind person. Lunar Entity said, I did a double take today. I had ICP show up in my newsfeed. Apparently, Pakistan is going to leverage the network. It's actually Insane Clown Posse that Pakistan is working with. Wouldn't that be sick? Just everyone in Pakistan is drinking Faygo. Oh, man. All right, fellas. I appreciate you guys showing up today. It's a late one today. Hopefully tomorrow's less late, but it's probably going to be the same time as today. Let's end our poll. 45% of you think smart money is exiting the market. Interesting. I asked you guys, why is everything so stagnant this week? 46% of you guys said smart money is exiting. 36% of you said waiting for CPI on Friday. 18% said Dow 50K distraction pullback. And 0% of you guys said the AI trade is dead. We got 11 votes. Guys, don't forget to smash the like button. I'm going to call it. Lunar Entity said, can you imagine the Insane Clown Posse shaking hands with the Prime Minister of Pakistan? What an image. That would be great, dude. They would probably do that, too. They would probably do that. They'd probably get killed, honestly. They probably go do some dumb shit, like go to an island from of a uncontacted tribe or whatever. Oh, that would be funny. Pakistan and the Juggalos unite. That would be dangerous. Damn, imagine the Juggalo lifestyle, just like being indoctrinated into the Middle East. They like put it in the Quran and shit. Tom Selleck said, "No, bro, T9. What you hitting the button, Meyer? That then more than once for? I'm not talking about the full keyboard. Get out of here." Bego sponsorship. Bego's Michigan. So is ICP. Let's go. All right, I'm gonna call it an evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a sleepy boy, and the market is doing a whole lot of nothing. And Grok is Grok is sleeping on the couch tonight, dude. Grok is in so much trouble. I can't believe Grok. Anyways, guys, as always, when the market starts to do anything crazy or anything at all, I will hop back on. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. Don't forget to smash the like button on your way out. Happy Tuesday and good night.